get to live in their entire life. The feeling of freedom, peace, relief, happiness comes from living a life with meaning. But seriously, it also means not owing money to anyone. People always say that they like traveling, they like shopping, luxury, cars, houses. Why can't they deserve that? They always buy stuff because they deserve it. Then they cannot pay it. That's really unfair. Life is unfair. That is not just. People always say these kinds of things. Can they really have it without owing those things? Can you really have a great life without being in debt? Yes, you can, and I'm going to explain here how to do it. Let's go back to where the problem started so that you can understand what's really happening with debt and why those people always stay in debt. Let's ask the question: why do people live in debt? Because they live in fear, and fear paralyzes people. So people want to stop being in fear, or they don't want to be miserable, so they want to belong, to experience, to control, to achieve. That's the real reason why they buy stuff. They buy a nice car because they want to belong to a nice community or to a nice status. They buy a house because they want to feel safe. They want to feel something. They have social media or they invest in stuff because they want to be known. Those are some of the things why people buy things and stay in debt. And the main reason is because of fear. Another reason is because people are unfulfilled. They don't have a meaning in their life. But what does this have to do with being in debt? With no meaning means no sacrifice. And if people don't sacrifice, they will stay the same in a poor job, with a poor mindset, surrounded with poor people, mediocre lifestyle. Most people do not accept themselves. They are not happy with who they are and what they do. So they buy stuff, they overbuy to not feel miserable, to hide that hole. But usually you buy material stuff, and you buy cars, luxury, travels, clothes, housing. Those things are only covering up your misery for a little while, and then your misery comes out again, and it's a cycle. Okay, so having a car is not going to make you feel better. It's a momentary pleasure. After a week, even though you are driving a Lamborghini, you will feel miserable again. Plus, you owe that car, so you're in debt and miserable. Most of these people are not educated. But wait, education doesn't have to do with money. If you really want to be educated, you can get the money to be. It's not an excuse. You can Google, you can buy cars, you can read podcasts, you can listen to wealthy people. It's not an excuse. And with education, you will make better choices. And with better choices, you will stay out of debt. Usually, if you are full of debt, you have poor people around you. And by poor people, I don't mean poor in money. It's a part of it, but I mean poor here. And when you are surrounded by poor people, they cannot give you a good advice. They are stuck like you. They are full of debt like you. So your debt will become bigger and your poor choices will become bigger. You have to be surrounded with different people, with successful people. Okay, so now that you know the whys, what's next? How do you get out of debt in the first place? You have to close the water tap. The more money you pour, the bigger the debt. So let's not make the debt bigger. Let's just stop there. We have to organize our stuff. How will you pay the debt? Do you have a full-time job? If not, get one. Do you have any sort of passive income or no? How much money are you making right now? Then we are going to list our priorities. We have the expenses that are vital for living. We need to pay light, we need to pay for food, we need to pay for gas, we need to pay for electricity and all those sorts of things that are obligatory to live. Those goes first. Then the mortgage. If you have one, be realistic. Can you really afford to pay that or no? Be honest with yourself. If you cannot pay that, try to make an arrangement or try to have a smaller house. Try to really get your priorities and see your real situation right now. Let's forget about luxury right now. We are not going to bag shopping, luxury shopping, car shopping, house shopping right now. We have to pay that obligation first and be free. That's our goal. So forget about luxury. Now that we have our numbers, let's ask one more question. How much time will it take us to pay that debt with the current amount of income that we receive right now? Can you increase your income? Yes or no? If you really want to increase your income, you should change your mindset. You should change your lifestyle and your habits. Otherwise, you won't be able to do it. So let's do this. Let's sit down and analyze our routine. What do we do? What do we eat? With who do we surround ourselves? What kinds of thoughts come to our mind every single day? What kind of emotions do we feel? Do we are always full of fear, anxious, stressed? Do we feel joy, pleasure, gratitude, love? Let's change the negative feelings to positive feelings. Let's start eating better. Let's start exercising. And let's start surrounding ourselves with successful people that can give us a good advice. Believe me, as soon as you start changing your daily routine, your life will start to shift. You will start to get better income because you will have better ideas. You will be fresh, you will be relieved, and you can make better decisions. With a bigger income, you can pay your debt easily. You can pay your debt faster. And once we pay our debt, can we go back to being in luxury? Can we go back to buying ourselves some treats? Yes, we can. We have to understand how much can we afford, how much treats can we have, and how much money can we invest on those sorts of things, because that money is going away. It's throwing money to the trash. It's not an investment. It's not something that we are going to recover again. So let's have that clear. And yes, you can go to a nice restaurant. You can treat yourself once in a while and have a good life, the life that you deserve. Finally, with a better mindset, when you are more calm, when your fear starts to go away, you can start creating passive income streams. And passive income are the kind of income that will make you the lifestyle that you deserve. Successful people have more than 7 income streams. and most of them are passive, meaning that if they are sleeping right now, they are still making money. They don't have to work to make that money. Money is working for them. So that's the smartest thing that you can do. Don't be afraid to share your situation. Get inspired from others. Be grateful for what you have. Start right now. The debt won't be paid by itself. Remember that the quality of your life depends on your choices. Take one step at a time. You'll start to feel better. And believe me, it becomes an addiction to feel better. You will always want more from what's better for you. Good luck on this journey, and this video is to your succeed. Anna.